Hello everyone, welcome to my Spoiler Zone TV channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Jen Shah was once the queen of extravagance on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, RHOSLC, dazzling fans with her designer outfits, over-the-top parties, and luxurious home. But behind the glitz and glamour, a different story was unfolding, one that would eventually land her in prison. From flaunting her supposed millions on reality to being convicted for a massive fraud scheme, Jen's financial empire came crumbling down in a way no one saw coming. But how much money did she actually make? Was she as wealthy as she claimed? And where does she stand financially now? Let's break it all down. How much did Jen Shah make on RHOSLC? When Jen Shah first appeared on RHOSLC, she quickly became one of the show's most talked about stars. She had a big personality, a sharp tongue, and a flair for drama that made her a fan favorite, or a villain, depending on who you asked. But what really caught people's attention was her extravagant lifestyle. She lived in a sprawling mansion, traveled in private jets, and had an entire team of assistants, including the infamous Shah Squad, catering to her every need. All of this led fans to wonder, where did all her money come from? As it turns out, a good chunk of her income came from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. By the third season, Jen was earning around $34,500 per episode. With 14 episodes in the season, she made about $483,000 that year. Not bad, but certainly not enough to sustain the kind of lifestyle she was portraying on television. How did Jen's salary compare to other housewives? Compared to other Real Housewives, Jen's earnings were modest. Here's how she stacked up against some of Bravo's biggest stars. Estimated salary per season. Nene Leaks. $2.85 million. Teresa Giudice. Real Housewives of New Jersey. $1 million plus. Lisa Vanderpump. $500,000 to $1 million. Jen Shah. $483,000. Jen's salary was significantly lower than top-tier Real Housewives, and unlike some of her co-stars, she didn't have a long-established career to fall back on. How much is Jen Shah net worth now? With her fraud scheme exposed, her business ventures shut down, and her reality TV career over, Jen Shah net worth took a massive hit. According to recent reports, her current net worth is estimated at around $30,000, a drastic decline from the $3 million she was once believed to have. But even that number is misleading. When you factor in the millions of dollars in legal fees she had to pay and the $9.5 million in restitution she still owes, Jen is technically in the negative net worth territory. She has no steady income, no significant assets, and a mountain of debt that will likely follow her for the rest of her life. Jen Shah's Financial Breakdown, 2024. Category: Estimated Value. RHOSLC Salary, Season 3. $483,000. Business Ventures. Legal Fees. Minus $1 million plus. Restitution Payments. Minus $9.5 million. Current Net Worth. $30,000. With her legal debts and no steady income, Jen's financial future looks bleak. The lavish lifestyle that raised eyebrows. Jen Shah made it a point to showcase her wealth on RHOSLC. She threw lavish parties, rocked head-to-toe designer outfits, and lived in a stunning 9,420 square foot home that was dubbed the Shah Chalet. The stunning home Jen showcased on TV wasn't actually hers. She rented the property for around $13,000 per month. Fans were in awe of her extravagant spending, until it was revealed that the house was actually a rental, not something she owned. She also had a fleet of luxury cars, including a Porsche Panamera and a Bentley, and was frequently seen traveling in private jets. Her wardrobe was stacked with Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Gucci, and Balenciaga, showcasing her love for high-end fashion. And, of course, there was her glam squad, a team of personal stylists and assistants who were supposedly on call 24/7, traveling with her wherever she went. While Jen claimed her wealth came from her successful businesses, many people began questioning how she was really making money. Unlike some of her fellow housewives, who had thriving careers in entertainment, fashion, or business, Jen's source of income remained a mystery. She spoke vaguely about working in marketing and lead generation but never provided a clear explanation. Her extravagant spending and lavish lifestyle raised eyebrows, leading fans and even some of her castmates to wonder, was she really as wealthy as she claimed? The truth eventually came out, revealing that her opulence wasn't built on business success, but rather on a fraudulent telemarketing scheme that exploited elderly victims for millions of dollars. What did Jen Shah actually do for a living? For years, Jen Shah portrayed herself as a self-made entrepreneur with multiple successful businesses. She often mentioned her involvement in the tech industry, boasting about her expertise in lead generation and online marketing, TV streaming services. She also launched her own fashion and beauty brands, including JXA Fashion, Shah Beauty, and the real Shah Lashes. However, none of these businesses seemed to gain much traction, and it remained unclear how much money she was actually making from them. Then, in March 2021, the real story emerged. Jen Shah was arrested for running a massive telemarketing fraud scheme that targeted elderly victims. Federal authorities revealed that she had been scamming people for years, tricking them into paying for fake services and draining their bank accounts. For all the talk about being a savvy businesswoman, her main source of income turned out to be fraud. The legal battle that changed everything. When Jen was first arrested, she maintained her innocence, claiming she was being wrongly accused. She continued filming RHOSLC, even making bold statements about fighting the charges. But as the evidence against her piled up, her story started to crumble. In July 2022, she changed her plea to guilty as part of a deal with prosecutors. By early 2023, she was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison, later reduced to 5.5 years, along with a court order to pay up to $9.5 million in restitution to her victims. Her once glamorous life was officially over. How does Jen Shah compare to other housewives who faced legal trouble? Jen Shah isn't the first Real Housewives star to land in legal hot water. Here's how her case compares to other Bravo stars who faced financial trouble. Legal trouble. Teresa Giudice, Real Housewives of New Jersey. Fraud charges. Served 11 months in prison, later rebuilt her brand. Erica Jane Rubb. Husband's legal scandal. Financial scrutiny but avoided criminal charges. Jen Shah RC. Telemarketing fraud. 5.5-year prison sentence, major financial loss. Teresa Giudice managed to bounce back after her prison sentence by returning to Real Housewives of New Jersey and securing endorsement deals. But Jen Shah's crime was more serious, and her public image may not recover as easily. Can Jen Shah make a comeback? Even though Jen Shah is currently in prison, there have been whispers about a possible comeback. Some sources suggest she's working on a prison memoir, detailing her rise and fall in the world of reality. If she manages to sell the book, it could bring in some much-needed income, but it remains to be seen if the public is interested in hearing her side of the story. There's also speculation that she might try to return to reality TV once she's released. But given the severity of her crimes and the fact that she scammed elderly victims, it's unlikely that Bravo, or any other network, would be willing to work with her again. Unlike other housewives who have faced legal trouble, such as Teresa Giudice from Real Housewives of New Jersey, who served time for fraud but was able to rebuild her brand, Jen's case is different. Her crime wasn't just a financial mistake, it was an intentional scheme that ruined lives. That kind of scandal isn't easily forgiven. Final thoughts. The cautionary tale of Jen Shah. Jen Shah's story is a perfect example of how reality TV fame can be deceiving. For years, she portrayed herself as a wealthy, powerful businesswoman, living a life of luxury. But behind the scenes, everything was built on lies. She made good money on RHOSLC, but it was never enough to sustain the extravagant lifestyle she showed on screen. Instead, she resorted to fraud, and now she's paying the price. Her net worth, once believed to be in the millions, is now virtually non-existent. With her financial empire gone, her reputation in shambles, and years left to serve in prison, Jen Shah's glamorous life is nothing more than a distant memory. Her rise and fall serve as a stark reminder that not everything you see on reality TV is real, and that, eventually, the truth catches up with you. If you liked today's update, Please like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our Spoiler Zone TV channel so that you don't miss any new updates. If you are interested in any specific news or information, please let us know in the comments. We will try to provide the right information according to your needs. Stay tuned for the next update and take care of yourself. Thank you.